Okay, number 3, we had a line, an equation, y equals kx plus 6, and we got a curve, y equals x squared plus 3x plus 2k. K is a constant. All right, so they tell us in part A to make k 2, and then find out what points the curve intersects with the line. So if we know that k equals 2, we can replace those equations with the k's with a 2, and then we get this. So what I want you to do is go ahead and pause this, and then solve these simultaneously, and then find the points where these two curves intersect by making them equal to each other, and then solving for x. Start back up again when you're ready, and we'll compare. Super. Okay, so we got x squared plus 3x plus 4 equal 2x plus 6. If I subtract 2x and minus 6 on both sides, I'm going to get this. And then I find out that x is equal to negative 2 and x can equal 1. When I plug those back into the linear equation, I find out that y equals 2 and that y equals 8. So those are my 2 points, A and B. Now the thing is, I did a lot of work, but I didn't answer the question. The question says find the distance or the length of AB. So what I've got to do is use the distance formula to find the length of AB, and then I have to find the midpoint of AB. So first, the distance formula is this. I hope you remember it. Now what I want you to do is pause it and then find the length of AB, and then start back up again, and we'll compare. Okay, fantastic. So if this is, I plug in my points, I've got x's of negative 2 and 1, so 1 minus a negative 2 is plus 2, and then I've got 8 minus 2, and so then when I simplify inside there, I'm going to find out that I've got 9 plus 36, or square root of 45. I can reduce that. That's the same thing as square root of 9 times square root of 5, so that's going to be 3 square root of 5. That's going to be my length of AB. And then to find the midpoint, I add the x's and divide by 2 and add the y's divide by 2. Why don't you go ahead and pause that and then try it and then start back up again so we can compare. Awesome. Okay, so when I do this, I'm going to end up finding out that the midpoint is negative 1/2, 5. Okay, so that's the midpoint. Now, for part B, what they want us to do is find the two values of k for where the line is tangent to the curve. So keep in mind, when the line is tangent to the curve, now we know the discriminant's going to have to equal 0, but we don't know what k is anymore. So what we've got to do is solve these two equations simultaneously. We're going to end up with a quadratic. It's going to have a k in it, and we make that quadratic equal to 0, and then we use the discriminant by making that equal to 0 to solve for k. So what I want you to go do is pause that, make these two rules equal to each other, make it a quadratic, get it all equal to 0, and then use the discriminant to find out what k is, and then start back up again. Okay, that's great. So here's what I got. X squared plus 3x plus 2k equals kx plus 6. I subtract the kx and the 6 on both sides. And what I'm going to end up with is x squared plus 3x minus kx minus 6 plus 2k. And see, now the whole trick is you got to figure out what your discriminant is going to be. So we need to know what a is. Keep in mind, a is anything multiplied times x squared. And b is anything multiplied times x. And c is anything not multiplied times x or x squared. So our a is going to be 1, and then our b is going to be, well, if we factor out the x, we'll find out that it's 3 minus k. And then our c is going to be negative 6 plus 2k, or 2k minus 6, however you want to do it. Now, if I'm going to put this in, all I'm going to do now is fill it in and solve it for 0. So when I do that, I get this. And then after I simplify all of this, I'm going to find out that it's going to be k squared minus 14k plus 33 is equal to 0. When I factor it, I'm going to find out that it's going to be k minus 11 and k minus 3. So k is going to equal 11 and k is going to equal 3. So keep in mind the answer to our question is k is going to equal 11 or 3, and then the line will be tangent to that curve. All right? Hope that helped. Thanks for watching.